Hi again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of First Person, brought to you by the Ruin Camp Boring and Trenching Company in Fort Laramie. 80 years of experience in farm, residential, and commercial. They'll make water work for you with innovative ideas in boring and trenching that leave your ground better than they found it. Again, call Phil Barhorst on Dawson Road in Fort Laramie. You've probably been in Fort Laramie a time or two in your life.
A couple times.
Scott Mceldowney is our guest this week, the head basketball coach for boys here at Versailles High School. Good to be with you. It's a busy time. I appreciate you giving us a few moments of your day today. And let's talk a little basketball, and particularly MAC basketball, because I think it's one thing that stands out to me. This league is having a win-fall year. You won just about half the titles in football in Divisions 5, 6, and 7. And I know you're hoping that you got a shot at winning maybe two of them in 3 and 4 division in basketball. That is a particularly good year for a conference.
Yeah, I think it says a lot about the small communities and how kids are brought up around here. Just tremendous kids. They work exceptionally hard. There's great athletes around here, and I think there's a lot of outstanding coaches around here too. I think that's what breeds the success in the MAC.
You know, people ask me all the time, you see a lot of MAC sports, and I do, and he said, what makes that league so competitive? Because I'm sure what you just said, the point about good family values and good kids and ethics and character and all those kind of things exist in a lot of places, small towns in Ohio, but something competitively is different about this conference, and we talk about that all the time.
I think coaches prepare well for each other, and I also think kids, there's just a lot of rivalries that go on in the MAC, and I think the MAC competition brings out the best in them.
Through the course of this basketball season, I have said this, and I've written about it many times on Press Pros this year. I think 3 or at least 4 maybe of the best basketball players I've seen anywhere this year are in your league. You certainly have one of them here in Kyle Arns, who's going to Michigan State next year. There's a couple up at Marion Local, and I don't want to leave anybody out, but Ryan Bruns and Luke Kanapke, you know them well. And then there's a youngster up at St. Henry that's going to Dayton next year, Ryan Mceldowney. And I think all 4 of those guys are unique because they're 6'4", 6'5", or bigger, and yet this says something about the game of basketball and how it's evolved. None of them are true post players from the standpoint of playing like they did 25 years ago with their back to the basket. All of them are capable of stepping out, hitting shots from range, and in the case of Kyle Arns and Ryan Mceldowney, if you need them to, they can play point guard for you.
Yeah, you know, I think kids nowadays work at their total game. I think you've even seen some of it in the college game. You don't see as many true post players at this day and age. I think kids are more athletic than they've ever been, and it just shows their versatility that they can step to the outside and shoot a basketball from three-point range and also handle a basketball and put it on the floor. So I think you're seeing a lot of that. Kids evolve a little bit more instead of just being limited to the post.
And that's how they want to play.
Yeah.
They don't want to be restricted in that respect to play. We talked about this all the time with coaches, and again, going back to that generational part about basketball, it strikes me that 25 years ago, that post player was the most important guy on the court.
Yeah, the three-point line, I think, had something to do with that.
Now, I think you can make a pretty good argument that the point guard is the most important guy on the court because he's got to bring the ball. The players are spread out. The game's faster. It's more physical. Now the point guard's got to bring the ball up against pressure, and he's got to distribute the ball to your scores.
Yeah, he's definitely the leader, the point guard, to get you in your sets and also, break down defenses if there is pressure like you're talking about. To set up open teammates, so it is a very valuable position.
I know people are we mentioned Kyle going to Michigan State next year, and I know they're very excited there. A couple weeks ago, we saw a couple of their coaching representatives here to watch him play. I think over at Marion one night. They're very excited about him. Ryan Mceldowney, of course, going to Dayton, as we mentioned. But I want to give you an opportunity. You're the coach, and you're the guy who he's grown up under. Maybe to brag about your own player. Outstanding young man for what he went through with the broken leg last year. Never complained. Great character, great family, great work ethic. You talk about him a little bit.
Great kid. It's been a lot of fun watching Kyle grow up. I mean, ever since I told Coach Izzo this, ever since he's been little, and I've been around him an awful lot, he's had such just a strong will and desire to be the best basketball player he can be, to be the best athlete he can be, best student, best person. Just a phenomenal kid. It's been a lot of fun to watch him grow up, but just very, always very willing to do whatever he thinks is going to make him better. Like I said, athletically or on a basketball court. But I have never seen such a drive in a person as I have in Kyle.
And a very unselfish young man, too, about the game, because he can easily go out and shoot enough to score 30 a night if he wants to, but I've never seen that out of him. He takes good shots. He makes a very high percentage of them, but a very unselfish player.
Yeah, he is. He definitely, he always talks about he likes to get the teammates involved. He'd rather pass if he has the opportunity. And he is. He really makes our team go in that way because, I mean, everybody knows one guy, if you get double, triple teamed, it's not going to carry a game. And he knows and respects the value of his teammates.
Here's what Versailles Tiger fans are waiting to hear you talk about. We're here on the threshold of the 2015 state tournament. Sectional tournament starts in a few days for you. And everybody knows about Kyle Arndt. He's an outstanding shooter. In fact, I count him in my mind as maybe one of the 3 or 4 best I've ever seen in this area as far as high school players. Tom Duns and Matt Witz, and you remember some of those guys from years ago, the way they shoot the ball. People are going to come out to play Versailles intent on shutting down Kyle Arndt. As a coach, you got to find a way to get the other 4 guys involved to the point where they can make up for that.
Yeah, and I think Kyle does a good job of that with his athleticism, drawing double teams. But we're getting better and better running our sets. But I think it's a tribute to his teammates too that I think we've seen a triangle and 2 once this year, and we really haven't seen a lot of those gimmick defenses because of his teammates' ability to knock shots down. So yeah, he draws a lot of attention and he gets us a lot of easy baskets, but it's made it a lot more enjoyable for him to play too, rather than getting double, triple teamed all the time. People aren't doing that quite as much because of the respect for his teammates.
The challenge for you is to get back to a place where you were a couple years ago, and I talked to you after your final appearance in that tournament. What was it, 2012 or 13? I guess the 2012 finals, and I know that was a devastating experience to get that close, and then you go out and you play a team like you did that day that shot the ball as well as they did. You can't account for that, but it's part of the game. Tell me what it's like for you personally. You're here, you've got a marquee player, one of the 10 best in the state of Ohio, and to get back to that opportunity and that one game or that one place again where you might break through and get that state title.
Well, for me, to be honest with you, for me, it's about getting the kids there.
I know.
Because you dream about it. I mean, the furthest I ever got playing was a district runner-up. Just to hear the kids still talk about, the kids that played on that team 2 years ago, to talk about their experience and how much fun it was to be in front of all those people playing at the shot. I mean, I would just love to get these kids back there, including my own son who starts on the team too. So it'd just be a great experience for the kids.
And one particular advantage that you have that I don't know most coaches can say, Kyle Arndt was on that team. He's had that experience. He knows that disappointment, and I'm sure that's extra motivation for him.
Yeah, as well as Jace Bargy played off the bench too, and Jace will still talk about it. They both still talk about it. That is their goal, that they want to get back. Just to go get a chance to play on that stage again and maybe a little better outcome than the last time. Scott
Mceldowney, our coach, or our guest this time on First Person, the coach here at Versailles High School. Again, thanks for your time today. Best of luck to you. Stay healthy and be lucky, because luck is pretty important when you get to this time of year.
It is. You got to have the ball bounce the right way at the right time. So hopefully that happens for us.
And a couple of nights with big rims helps too, doesn't it?
Sure
does.
is true.
That wraps up this edition of First Person, again brought to you by the Ruin Camp Boring and Trenching Company on Dawson Road in Fort Laramie. They'll make water work for you. Call our friend Phil Barhorst, once again, sponsor of First Person here on Press Pros. Thanks again to the coach and the sponsors and to you folks there who every week make it your destination to follow area high school sports, your support here on Press Pros Magazine. Until next time, we'll see you then with another edition of First Person.